thank you so much for the questions that you submitted. Thank you very much, Zach, for joining us. So I've known Zach for a couple of years now. I got introduced to Zach, I think, in 2021 when Payhippo was completing their term in YC. So I've known Zach for about 2 or 3 years now, and this is going to be my third time investing in Payhippo. So that shows the level of conviction that I have in what they're doing. We're very glad to have Zach join us this morning. Depending on where you are, it may be afternoon or evening. But for me here in Seattle, Washington, it's morning. And so thank you very much for your time, Zach. And I'll yield the floor to you to, give some of your opening remarks before we jump into the pre-submitted questions. Over to you, Zach.
Yeah, thanks, Chinua. So it's great to be able to answer some of these questions for folks who couldn't make our session, our live Q&A, and we're going to run through an overview of the company and get to some Q&A, and then I'll do, as a part of the questions, I'll do a product demo. So I'm co-founder, CEO of Payhippo, and we're building small business banking for Africa. And we've started in Nigeria, where we've done well over 30,000 business loans. We, in 2020, built out our origination product. In 2021, we did our pre-seed fundraise of $1 million, followed by getting into Y Combinator, followed by doing a $3 million seed round. Since then, we've not only grown the amount of originations, as mentioned, but we've started our journey to expand from financing, being the core product, to expanding into other financial services. And that's because we've noticed that while we've financed businesses, they've had a lot of friction using their everyday banking products. So we launched a few months ago in January our banking app for our customers, where they can not only receive a loan from Payhippo and have that money in their traditional bank account, but now they can receive a loan from Payhippo and receive that money to their Payhippo bank account. So we launched that in January and have seen steady uptake in the monthly transactions. Now that the banking app is steadily growing, we've only launched more products now. It's Friday now, even this week on Monday, we added a bill pay function to the app where a customer can make payments for their bills like utilities and phone bills. And this is a part of our broader vision for the product, which is a small business is not only able to get seamless financing from us, they're also able to do all their other financial functions in a very reliable and seamless way from the Payhippo app. And I'm going to get into other products we're launching later on, but just to close out the introduction on Payhippo, I wanted to speak on our team as well. It's myself and it's my two co-founders, Chioma and Uche. We started the company 4 years ago as of next month. 4-year anniversary is coming up. And yeah, it's very exciting. So we started Payhippo because we have all worked in fintech and in lending in Nigeria. I was at a fintech lender that had failed to deliver on automated originations. So I've seen fintech financing not work and all the pitfalls that can happen in Nigeria. Chioma was working in microfinance in Nigeria and also in international development. And complementing that, she had a background where her family was running small businesses in Nigeria. So she was intimately familiar with the use case we were solving for. Then finally, Uche was a software engineer in the Bay Area for a number of years, including engineering for a fintech financing company called Earnest, before then launching Payhippo with us. So that's how we started and everything we've done so far. Let's get into these questions, and then, as mentioned, the product demo.
Okay, before we go into the questions, just one thing that strikes me though is, how did 3 of you meet?
Yes, this should have been the question. Someone should ask this. Yeah, well, when I was working in Nigeria, right, of course, I was living there as well, I had built up a network of folks with similar interests in, well, actually, it was the education space, because before getting into fintech in Nigeria, was a teacher in Manhattan. So in Nigeria, got involved with Teach for Nigeria, an NGO. And the person who was their first employee, so their founding employee and their head of operations, is Chioma, who Payhippo's co-founder and chief operating officer. And so we had worked together before starting a company together. Uche, very different. He was running a nonprofit remotely from California, but flying into Nigeria. And the nonprofit was an education mission, but specifically to educate engineers on engineering best practices. Mm. And so I just thought he was really cool, to be honest. I thought he was like, his whole intention for going to Nigeria was really cool, and he was just a good guy. And so I had helped him out a bit with his nonprofit. We were just some guys trying to do good together, and I just really liked him. So when it came time for us to start this company, it was clear that we had three people complementing each other, right? Myself, having been on the ground doing fintech SME financing in Nigeria, Chioma with all the experience mentioned, Uche being Nigerian American, bringing the best of both worlds. And that is how we met, Chinua.
Wow, interesting. Okay, I never knew that.
Yeah. Okay, questions. So the first question is, how is revenue defined? So we have multiple products now, which is really cool, but our flagship product has been loans. So revenue for loans is defined as the interest charged and the fees associated. We specifically have these two revenue items paid at the time of loan repayment. For longer tenor loans, it's paid in monthly installments. The reason I mention when it's repaid is because we pride ourselves in being really transparent and fair to customers. So a common practice in Nigeria, for example, is to charge an interest rate and then also add collateral. But the collateral is cash collateral. And watch, this is where things get really shady. The cash collateral is deducted from the loan principal. Right. So you're getting a loan of ₦1 million, but it's a 20% collateral. So you actually only receive 800K, right? But you're paying interest on the full loan amount of ₦1 million, right? So that's a way that people play games with numbers, right? And take advantage of customers who are sometimes semi-literate. And so anyway, that's how our revenue is defined for our main products. Then for insurance, which is very new for us, but insurance, our total revenue last month was $120,000, and insurance was $3,000 of revenue. We partner with an insurance provider to do this. This one is deducted at source. So with the insurance, you deduct from goes out.
Yeah.
And we our banking app, which allows us to, we have someone joining us right now, so I don't know what to do because we're in the middle of a recording. I'm going to let him in and then just, yeah. This is kind of funny. All right. Okay.
Hi, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Oh, okay. He's typing in the chat. Okay. Yeah. Just keep going whenever. It says his mic is not working. Okay. Yeah.
We were just recording some questions for folks who couldn't make our session. So we are just in the middle of it. So that's how revenue is defined. And Patrick, we're just running through questions that were brought into us. We'd already done a background on the company for folks watching. So if you have any questions about the company, Patrick, you can just drop them in the chat. We're happy to answer that. Cool. But while we do that, I'm going to now move to the next question, which is someone asked us about buy now, pay later. So we don't do that. We actually we have done various experiments in the market, and we haven't seen the results we wanted on certain buy now, pay later products, but we are now exploring a little bit of an asset financing product, but that's not really relevant to this question. It's very new. We've been working on it for the past month, and we're hoping to take it out of stealth after a couple more months of progress. But because we're asking about products, I thought it'd be great to share my screen and do a quick demo of
let's do it.
a Payhippo customer-facing product.
Yep.
Yes. Here is the dashboard that a Payhippo customer will see and sees. This is launched already, but what we're seeing here is dummy data because this is a staging environment. So right away, you see at the top left an account balance, because this is the banking function. See how much money you have in your Payhippo account. And on the right, your loan request amount, because you, through our app, of course, can get financing directly to this app. I'm going to walk through some of the newer functions outside of the loan function. So on the left here, you can see we have these banking functions, including being able to send and receive money. You have to create a PIN to do this, but basically this allows you to send money between accounts. What you can also do is basically from the Payhippo account. Let me just bring up a different screen here to demo this. Okay. Very good. So incognito tab. Okay.
All right.
Okay, great. Here we go. So we're in the Payhippo home screen. The customer comes in and they see their account balance. They can add money, pay other people. So I can enter an account number. You can fund an account using this number. So Chinwa, if you want to send me money, here's the account number. Unfortunately, it's a dummy account, so I won't actually get the money. We can pay other people. So I can send money to you, Chinwa, but I think because this 10 million naira is not real, perhaps you won't receive it. We can add you as a beneficiary. We can send to other Payhippo accounts. Of course, that's free for peer-to-peer transactions, but transferring outside the accounts, per industry standard in Nigeria, you charge a modest fee, and that builds up to your revenue. The cool thing that we added on Monday is the bill pay. So you pay a bill for either buying your airtime to make calls, data to browse the internet, cable TV, electricity. And the idea now is you can come into Payhippo's app, you can send and receive money, you can pay your bills. And this is just the start. While we launched this on Monday and already have some customers using these functions, we are now adding other products. We have a number of businesses that we have not been able to finance because they are not registered in Nigeria. We are now partnering with a business registration platform to offer business registration services through the Payhippo app. So if you're a business who has not been registered, you can do it through our app. Then we can finance you. Then you're going to have money in your Payhippo account that you can send and receive, and you can make bill payments here. We're launching. Come again?
I said you also get a cut from the business registration.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be a revenue driving product. Probably just a modest amount of revenue, given that it's a one-off and doesn't apply to every customer, but it's a revenue generating way of opening up the platform for a broader base of small businesses in Nigeria. Now you have these financial services, these business functions. Later on, we're going to be integrating other financial and business function tools. So financial tools being cards and POS machines, business functions being getting into other tools like bookkeeping, etc., for the app. So the product vision, again, is you get a loan through our app, but every day you're using it to run your business. The differentiator here is that you have banks and fintechs who are offering sending and receiving of money, right? But just like we saw friction with the loans product that existed in Nigeria before Payhippo being very stressful, We also see that same problem with banks and fintechs as well, where you can go send and receive money, and you can go send 5 million naira. And I kid you not, the money could never hit the recipient's account. So you lose 5 million naira, you're paying your supplier, they don't receive the money, and you don't know what's happening. So what do? You call the bank. You try to call the bank and you find out what the hell happened with my money. And then you find out that you can't get through to anyone at the bank. And you're not able to get through at all. Maybe 2 days later, you'll get the money reversed back to your account, and then you have to try again. In the meantime, you were trying to buy goods from a supplier who you just negotiated with. They're waiting on your payment, and maybe they'll go supply someone else in the meantime, and you just lost your deal. Or more simply, the customers who you were trying to have these goods that you were buying to go sell to those customers likely have gone to your competitor. This exact scenario happened to one of our customers. Specifically 5 million naira, specifically 2 days, where they called the bank and they could not figure out what happened to their money. This happens all the time in Nigeria. I personally am actually missing funds from a bank in Nigeria that they're just sitting in their system somewhere. And it's not malicious. It's just that their tech systems are not designed for the mass market, whether a consumer or the SME segment. So we're targeting the SME segment. So this is our product so far, the features we built, the features we'll be adding, and the differentiator that we've tied in that's working really well with our customers so far. So that's an overview. That's a product demo. And of course, there's like the loan function. This is the classic Payhippo loan function, the credit score function. 505 is a great credit score in our system, by the way. All right. Yeah, so that's everything.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. I'm glad you could hear me this time. Yeah. Patrick, do you have any questions?
I think he said his mic isn't.
Evan, you can type them in.
Yes, he can type some more questions if he does.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, the product roadmap. Yeah.
Glad you heard it this time.
Okay. I think that's all the questions we have so far.
Cool. Patrick, if you have any notes you want to send over, I can drop my email here. And yeah, we can close. I'll close out the recording. Thanks so much, everyone. Cheers.
All right.
Let me close out the recording. Bam.